We begin in Washington, where President Donald Trump's confirmed that his special envoy Steve Witkoff will travel to Russia this week to hold high-level talks on ending the war in Ukraine. Responding to the visit, the Kremlin said that Witkoff's upcoming visit would be important and helpful. Now, Witkoff's trip to Russia comes just days before President Trump's self-imposed deadline for Russia to agree to a ceasefire or face a new round of sanctions. Speaking to reporters on Sunday, President Trump was direct when asked that what Russia could do to avoid penalties, stating, "Get a deal where people stop getting killed."
Yeah, get a deal where people stop getting killed. They had a number that just came out that a tremendous number of Russian soldiers are being killed. And likewise, Ukraine, a lower number, but still thousands and thousands of people. And now we're adding towns where they're being hit by missiles. So it's a lot of people being killed in that ridiculous war.
President Trump further warned that if Moscow fails to act, his administration would impose very severe tariffs on Russia and possibly on their trading partners. He added secondary tariffs could target key nations like India and China, escalating the pressure put, but also risking disruption in global trade.
Well, there'll be sanctions, but they seem to be pretty good at avoiding sanctions. You know, they're wily characters, and they're pretty good at avoiding sanctions. And he may be going, I think next week, Wednesday or Thursday, may be going to Russia. They would like to see him. They've asked that he meet, so we'll see what happens.
And in a surprising move, last week, President Trump also repositioned 2 U.S. nuclear submarines in the region following a heated online exchange with former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev. They are where they have to be, the president said, but offered no clarification on whether the submarines were nuclear powered or nuclear armed. Nor did he disclose their exact location, information typically kept classified by the U.S. military.
Oh, yeah, well, we had to do that. We just have to be careful. And a threat was made, and we didn't think it was appropriate, so I have to be very careful. So I do that on the basis of safety for our people. A threat was made by a former president of Russia, and we're going to protect our people.
This nuclear posturing follows a recent escalation in the rhetoric between President Trump and Medvedev, who currently serves as deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council. Now, in mid-July, President Trump also announced on Truth Social that Russia had 10 days to secure a ceasefire or face tariffs along with its oil buyers, and the deadline ends this Friday.
Yeah, I'd say 10 to 12 days. I'll announce it probably tonight or tomorrow. But there's no reason to wait. If you know what the answer is going to be, why wait? And it would be sanctions and maybe tariffs, secondary tariffs. You know what a secondary tariff is.
Meanwhile, the war in Ukraine rages on, and as Russia has continued its aerial assault with an attack on last Thursday on a Kyiv apartment building, killing 31 people. The strike capped off a record month of over 6,000 long-range drone attacks on Ukraine in July, which was 14 times higher than the previous month. Ukraine, however, is striking back. In fact, over the weekend, its drones targeted several sites across Russia, killing 3 people and sparking a massive fire at an oil refinery. Now, despite the ongoing fighting, diplomacy does continue. Russia and Ukraine have held several meetings in recent months in Istanbul, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced yesterday that the latest round had produced an agreement to exchange 1,200 prisoners. And so as President Trump prepares to send his trusted envoy to Moscow, the stakes are in fact climbing. Nuclear submarines are in position, sanctions loom, and the world waits to see whether Russia will blink or whether something far more insidious lies ahead.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
geschäftsführenden Direktoren,
Hindi,
$30 trillion का कर्ज हो
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali. Stop.
Japanese,
4兆ドル以上も。
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.